We call it people technology.
Wow, did you enjoy that? If you're a Chennai Super Kings fan, we're looking at 170. Gautam Gambhir said, "Don't keep numbers in mind. Take it as it goes. You never know what you get. When you get 190 plus in an IPL final, you think you'd be happy at halftime." This is Maruti Suzuki presents ESPN Dragon for T20 timeout. Sanjay Manjrekar here, so too Dale Steyn along with Gautam. Let's go to the bowler first up and ask him what he makes of that. 192, Dale Steyn. What do you make of that score?
That's a very, very good score. And I know I said in the start of the game that like batting first and scoreboard pressure doesn't really matter. These guys can go about it and chase down any score. I stick with that, but the thing what I saw was KKR's body language and the way that they went about their business tonight just looked a step or two off compared to the way that they've played throughout the second half, the second leg of this. Whereas CSK, they looked a step ahead. They looked on the front foot the whole time, and I'm just worried that the score itself is a big score, but just the way that KKR went about their business looks like they might struggle to get there right now, especially with Raul Tripatia being injured.
Sanjay Manjrekar, first thoughts?
First thoughts is a couple of days, last week, I was mourning about the quality of the IPL. You see some three good players and then, rest a lot of mediocrity and some bizarre results because of that. But what we saw today was high quality cricket. And, for me, that is a treat to the sore eyes, starting with Uttappa. Taking on people like Sunil Narayan and Varun Chakravarti the way he did. So that was great to watch. Faf du Plessis, incredible shots to begin with against Lockie before Lockie just lost his way and became somebody else in the way that he bowled. So I guess the Faf onslaught against him got to him, maybe the finals as well. And then Moeen Ali doing the Moeen Ali thing. And as Dale mentioned, I think Rahul Tripathi looked really he was struggling there walking off the field. If he doesn't bat, then you've got one more, one out of one informed batter from that lineup in that run chase. So they've got now very few left who are really brimming with self-confidence with the bat.
You look at that scoreboard, Gotham, and you think Fab du Plessis stands out with 86 and batting almost the entire innings out of the last ball. But 68 of 35 between Robin Uthappa and Moeen Ali.
Ronak, for me, that stumping chance very early in the innings. When you're
Yep.
playing against a side like CSK and you end up giving someone like Faf to play, he was in fabulous form. We spoke about how good a form Rituraj Gaikwad and Faf was in. If you end up giving someone like him a chance, then he's going to make you pay. And he exactly did the same. For me, yes, I have to agree with Sanjay. Someone who'll see the scoreboard will say Faf du Plessis, Moeen Ali, Ruturaj Gaikwad. But for me, I think the game changer was Robin Uthappa. Because it's always very difficult to bat after the first 6 overs. The way he took on Sunil Narayan and Varun Chakravarti, two of the most successful bowlers in tandem throughout the competition. So taking them on was never that easy. So he took a lot of pressure off Faf. And then obviously Faf took on Lockie Ferguson. So for me, I think Robin opened the game for CSK. But again, that chance was very, very critical and very crucial as well. And you expect Dinesh Karthik. It wasn't that it was a chance against Sunil Narayan or Varun Chakravarti who you couldn't pick from the hand because sometimes even the keepers can't pick them. But against Shakib Ul Hasan, you would expect someone like Dinesh Karthik to grab that chance, or probably that was a very, very easy chance and then got paid for it. But I still believe that KKR going in the dressing room, we'll talk about 2012 and 14. In 2012, we managed to chase 190 plus. In 2014, we did chase 200. So the history is probably still backing KKR to do this. Whether they have the belief to do it or not, that is up to now the individuals to decide.
Okay, right. I'd love to take that up then. The chance by Dinesh Karthik and Sanjay. I think it's 3 games in a row now where Karthik's missed one. There's a tough one against Shikhar Dhawan of Shakib in the last qualifier. There's one against Bharat as well in the first qualifier. These things, not it's KKR still ended up on the right side, but these are so costly, especially in a final.
Yeah, just one thing in the replay that we saw, Faf got his bat very quickly in. So had Karthik collected it and in his way, because he's not as quick as Dhoni, had he collected it and taken the bails off, would the bat have been back in? Let's assume no. That's a stumping chance drop. But this is where, I've always believed Dinesh Karthik, even in his prime, would drop one or two per innings. So this is Dinesh Karthik way past his prime. And if the franchise keep trusting and putting their faith in such players, well, they deserve what they get.
Okay, simple as that. I went to Sanjay, of course. He's had his share with the gloves, has been a keeper for India. Check out some of those videos on YouTube. I must recommend them. But let's focus on Faf du Plessis, just a shot away from the orange cap. Maybe these achievements don't matter as much as the impact of an individual player, Dale Steyn. But what a season this has been for Faf.
For him and Gaikwad, to open the batting, two opening batters to be at the top of the list, it's absolutely amazing. And CSK must be very proud, and they should be walking onto the field now with a lot of confidence. And you've got to feel a little bit for Faf. I feel a little bit for Faf right now because he's in the country where there's about to happen, where a T20 World Cup is about to happen, and he's
Yeah.
just scored almost 90 in an IPL final, and he's going to be on the next plane, EK 475, back to Cape Town in 2 days' time. Like, I don't know. I can't even talk about it. It blows my mind. But let's just focus on tonight. He was fantastic, and I'm in agreement with Gautam. The big game changer came when Robin Uthappa came in, and we know what a fantastic striker of the ball he is. And tonight he was amazing. Some of those shots that he was hitting, and I played with him at RCP, and I played against him for many years. He's a fantastic timer of the cricket ball, especially when he plays straight. I remember hitting Brett Lee over his head a couple times. And tonight, I haven't seen it throughout the whole IPL, but tonight when it mattered most, he came out there, he struck at 200, and that's the difference right there, because he freed Mo and Ali up to come and do what he did, and Faf was able to just tinker away and get to one short of the orange cap, which he'll be disappointed about. You always want to go home with something, but if he goes home with an IPL cup, he'll be even more happy about that.
As someone who's batted so much with Robin Uthappa, Gautam, I want you to just comment on how amazing this sort of transformation is. Playing just the fag end towards the season, having to bat in his non-favorite position. You think he likes to open ideally, and still being able to hit the big shot against the likes of Sunil Narayan. What does that tell you about Uthappa and where his game is?
Look, Ronak, it amazes me. In 2014, he was the orange cap holder, and we ended up winning the trophy. And now he's actually playing against the same side, and that also the IPL final. He always had the ability, and probably got to give it to MS Dhoni for this, hitting that big punt of making Suresh Raina sit on the bench and playing Robin Uthappa. That's a huge gamble, and that's a huge punt as well. That's a huge decision making, and you expect MS to do something like that, and that is why he's so successful. That he goes with informed batters. He doesn't go with reputations, because it could have been very easy for someone like MS Dhoni, especially after the first two games, that Robin didn't get too many runs. He could have actually got Suresh Raina back, but then he persisted with him, and look at the results now. So it is about giving security to the players as well. It's not about chopping and changing, with which a lot of other franchises have done. You talk about CSK being so successful. There is a mantra to it. There is something to it. So the other franchise needs to learn that you got to persist with your players. Don't judge them by only one or two innings, and that is exactly what happened with MS, or with Robin's case as well. If probably Robin was judged after the two games, he wouldn't have played the knockout or playoff and the finals. And look what he's done in the last two games, in the previous and even today as well. So probably yes, you got to learn from a successful franchise, and I hope the other franchise would learn after looking at what Robin Thapa has done.
Sanjay, we talk about this a lot, don't we? Franchises' ability to see, players and the ability that they have. Robin Uthappa was a trade made outside of the auctions and brought from Rajasthan. We might have all put our hands up and said, is he really an upgrade to a Suresh Raina or not? CSK have shown the answer.
Well, let's be very honest. If you look at Robin Uthappa in the last few IPLs, he's been a failure. Let's be very honest about it. He hasn't quite, got going. We saw Robin Uthappa early in T20 cricket as a guy who had the big shots, played unbelievable innings. And then suddenly, when he started opening, maybe it was KKR's plan with Gambhir leading them, that he's sort of almost anchored the innings, played steadily. He may have had a year with Pune Warriors as well. And his strike rate came down to 110. 115. The last full IPL season that he played for KKR, his strike rate was 115. Yeah, strike rate 115. So you would think, why would CSK be interested in somebody who's had a pretty average run in the last few IPLs? He was very exciting at the start, but they went for him. And what happened with CSK is that Robin Uthappa couldn't take his time and play the way he had done for KKR. If you remember the last match that he played for KKR, he may have got 41 or 47 balls. And that actually ended up hurting KKR. But in CSK, he's played the way he has played at the start of his T20 career, which was about going out there, trusting his attacking instinct, hit the ball, see the ball, hit the ball, rather than wanting to anchor the innings or stay playing the innings and having that kind of a strike rate. So with CSK, the role has been different, but that was a huge gamble by CSK that paid off because you can see him on the field that he's not in his prime, even with his fitness, but two unbelievable innings.
Gautam, would you go for that?
Can
Yeah,
I just make
please,
a
please,
point? See, I've seen
please,
Robin
Gautam.
from very close quarters as well. Every individual is not similar. Sometimes someone like a Robin, he needs a shoulder, he needs that cushion, he needs that comfort as well. And probably after 2014 or whatever 2017 when I left, or I'm not going to talk about myself, probably it is about the culture, it is about the environment in the particular franchise as well. Suddenly last year he had a horrible season with Rajasthan Royals, and suddenly something must have changed, because obviously he still remains the same, his ability still remains the same. Something, probably just the environment in the dressing room, probably just the security, probably just the comfort level might have just got
Mm,
him going again. So it is not only about an individual's skill or probably his bad form, it is a lot to do with how you treat a player as well and how much comfortable you make him feel as well. So every
mm,
individual cannot be as mentally tough as someone else. Probably some people do. For some people, environment do not really matter because they are that mentally tough. Probably for someone like Robin, he likes that environment, he likes that cushion, he likes that comfortable zone. Probably he couldn't find that. And when you go to a new franchise, when he went to RR, probably he didn't feel that way, and that could be the reason why he couldn't just click there. And suddenly coming to, and remember, he's a year older. He was far more
Yeah,
fitter last time, and he's a year older.
yeah.
And with age, obviously, your hitting ability also goes down as well. But now coming to CSK, playing at the back end of the competition, and the way he's batted. So I'm sure CSK is doing something right, or probably you got to give it to MS and Robin's ability as well.
okay. Everyone comes to
Absolutely.
CSK and just proves us wrong
No,
sometimes.
that's
That's just
no, no, that's not right.
But
A
it
lot of people
happens.
have
but
Yeah.
what?
failed.
But also
Yes, Dale.
But
Yeah.
also, if I can add to that, and I'm a total agreement with that. Another player that you can throw into that list is Moeen Ali. He's
Mm.
actually come out and said that since going to CSK, he's just felt so comfortable under MS, and him and Robin have just shone this whole season.
Yeah. Fair
Because
enough.
I think because MS has this ability of probably persisting with players for a much longer time. That is
Mm.
all. It is not that there's something extra. What a player wants, that even after two or three failures, he should not start feeling that he's going to get dropped. Someone should feel that I will get
Mm,
a longer run. And that is exactly
Mm.
what MS has done. There is no rocket science to it, Ronak. It is
Yeah.
not that whoever
Yeah.
goes to CSK starts performing. There is a simple game plan to it. There's a simple method to it that you will be persisted with. Even if you've got three or four bad games, even if you had a shockers, still you will be persisted, you will be given a longer run. Look at Moin Ali. He started off brilliantly, had a horrible second leg, but still playing the finals. Probably had it been any other franchise, probably an RCB or an RR, Robin or even Moin Ali would have been sitting on the bench, probably serving
Yeah.
drinks. And that is not what a player wants.
Yeah, I've actually had the chat to speak to Robin Uthappa and Moeen Ali on this, and they keep talking about how they felt a lot better coming to CSK. So that's exactly the point that Gautam Gambhir makes as well. Yeah, just better treated here perhaps than at some of their previous franchises. What about the bowling? Dale Steyn, seven of that last over, and it seemed like the first continuous bunch of short balls that Faf du Plessis got. What about KKR's bowling effort? Where did they get this wrong?
Yeah, maybe just a bit of a tired effort. Yeah, it overall looked like a tired effort, and a couple different things from Morgan in his captaincy tonight. Lockie just looked a shadow of himself throughout this whole season. Although he may have bowled one or two quick balls in the category of pace, his length and his line wasn't anywhere near where it should have been, and far too little short balls. I even wrote that down, and then at the last over, it's shown into itself that Faf is a really good puller of the cricket ball, but Dubai is a lot bigger field than any of the other two grounds, maybe Abu Dhabi. But just a lack of the short ball at that ground, and overall, it just didn't look like they had that little bit of fire that they've had throughout the whole second leg that they've had so far. It just maybe looked like they were missing it, maybe because of the short turnaround from the last game that they've played. I don't know, but they just didn't look like their bowling had it in them, and their bowling has been their strength throughout this whole second leg. We've spoken about it, how good their spinners have been.
true.
They just looked a little off tonight.
Gautam, KKR's bowling?
Look, I think the same length which was unplayable at Sharjah becomes the hitting length in Dubai. So you got to adjust to the length very quickly as well. This Lockie was exactly the same bowler at Sharjah. Probably the same balls were hitting the bottom of the bat. And suddenly you come to Dubai, you got to adjust very quickly as well. and suddenly Faf starts hitting him over longer, mid off, extra cover, start pulling him. All these shots were not possible at Sharjah. So that was one of the reasons. Plus, we always knew that there's not going to be enough help for the spinners. But look at what Sunil Narayan did today. Went again, got 2 wickets, went what 24, 25 of his 4 overs. So that just shows a quality spinner is a quality spinner on any kind of a surface. Probably Lockie had to change his length today. Probably he kept bowling the same length what he was bowling at Sharjah.
Okay, let's just look at to the next, the chase as well. It's already kicked off. Now, Sanjay, the Rahul Tripathi factor, the fact that perhaps Shakib Al Hasan could be used differently. What are you expecting in the second half, and how are you expecting CSK to bowl better than KKR?
It's a great to Akib Al Hassan more valuable to the side. They'll be now thinking, had we played Andre Russell, because this seems like a surface tailor made. The due factor might help. Kolkata, their track record, as Gautam mentioned, they've had 2 big chases to win the title, but that was a completely different team. This team has a lot of batters out of form, one of who is hobbling, but a great opportunity to send Shakib in. But Tripathi injured is a setback, but we've seen some incredible, unexpected turnarounds and results. At the moment, it seemed like CSK all the way, but who knows?
Dale Steyn, final word in prediction? CSK all the way?
Yeah, I suppose so. But I think with Rahul Tripathi not going to be able to bat or not going to be able to have as much of an impact, this is where Morgan's really going to have to step up. And I know he's had a horrible season, but where good players step up is when it matters most. And he knows he's a batter down. He knows he needs 193 to win in 20 overs. He's back against the wall. This is where he has to step up. If he doesn't step up, and the batters that have been in form for them, it's going to be a really, really tough ask for KKR to chase us down.
Gautam, still think this is going to be close, don't you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And if Rahul Tripathi doesn't bat at number 3, I want Morgan to bat at number 3. Go lead from the front. Doesn't matter what happens. Go bat at number 3. Show the entire team that yes, I'm going to lead from the front, irrespective of what kind of a form I'm in. That is how you're meant to lead the side.
All right, I love it. All right, let's see. It looks like CSK have the runs on the board, but can KKR chase it down? Scores in this range have been chased in IPL finals in the past. Thank you very much, Dale Steyn, Gautam Gambhir, and Sanjay Manjrekar. More from you on what will be our final Maruti Suzuki presents ESPN Cricket for T20 timeout for IPL 2021. Let's see if CSK can make it a 4th IPL title or KKR can make it a 3rd. Join us.
We call it people technology.